I'm Jake Bruton, and welcome to The Build Show. Today on The Build Show, we are going to talk about the first thing that came to my mind when Mr. Reisinger asked me if I wanted to be involved with the Build Show Network. That's how to talk to clients. So, where does that client conversation start? For us, that client conversation starts with first contact, and really that's what this is about, first contact. When someone emails our firm about us being involved, the first thing I'm going to do is say, thanks for emailing. It's exciting that you chose to contact us about your project. Can we schedule a phone call to talk about it? I don't go and see the clients first thing. There are too many things that will disqualify us from being involved with that project for me to waste my time going out right away. I need to know more, and no one ever emails with all the answers. So I need to know more. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to schedule a call. Item number one, we are going to talk about scope of work and the client budget. We are going to have that conversation in the first phone call because there is no reason for me to come look at a house and you say you already have a set of plans and it'd be 1,000,000 square feet and you want to build it for $1,000. I need to know that before I waste my time. You have no idea how many people don't know what things cost and have unrealistic expectations. And you need to know up front whether or not their expectations are worth your time. I had someone call the other day. This is the bathroom that we want. This is the square footage of the bathroom. This is the square footage of the tile. We want this tub. We already picked out the tub. We were ready to go with another builder, but we decided we wanted to work with somebody else just because of the way he handled things. We're ready to rock and roll. Are you interested? Yes. What's your budget for everything you just talked about? $4,000. Your budget for an entire bathroom is $4,000? Yes. The other guy that we were working with told us $4,000 would be more than enough. I can't buy the cabinets and the countertops for $4,000. Something's up. There's a reason why they didn't work with that guy. So, scope of work and budget, we're counting those two things as one thing, and they are important, and they need to be talked about before anybody wastes anyone's time. Next on the list, we are going to talk about process, and I mean our process. We are going to talk about what it's like to build with us, but we're also going to talk to clients about our pre-construction process. We're going to talk to them about the development of scope of work, wanting to be involved in the design process so that we can help make proper choices, and we're going to talk about every aspect that I can possibly bring up about how our system works, because being able to pay for it is important, but seeing a value in what we bring to the table is also important. And if you don't understand what it is I do, you're not going to see a value in it. And we'll circle back around to that again too. And then my final question for clients on the phone that I normally leave them with, because most people can't answer it, which is very telling, is how are you going to judge this project a success? That's a scary question for lots of people, and that's a very challenging question to answer if you hadn't thought of it yet, but it also can get me a very telling response. If the client says, we need to be under budget, then I know that budget's the most important part of that project. If the client says, we want a kitchen that we can entertain in, then I know to be thinking of that the entire time we're designing, we're lighting, we're picking out finishes, everything. It just is a telling question. And if they can't tell you, then we have a serious problem as to whether or not they are going to be able to judge it successful. And as a builder, as someone that they're going to give their money to, I want them to know what success looks like so that I can get to where that point is. If you say, it'll be successful so long as the garage doors are red, you better darn well understand that those garage doors are going to be red, because I know you're going to think I'm successful. So I'm taking into consideration things that might not be important to me or might not be very high up on the list because you noted them in that phone call. Things that clients shouldn't say. This one is probably more important for me, or equally important, I should say. There are a list of things that if you say in that initial phone call, more than likely I'm out. I'm not interested. You're not our client. I can tell right away. Number one, we'd like to withhold our budget until you give us numbers, because we don't want to just tell you what the budget is and then it wind up being that budget. We're open book. I'm going to have everything to justify all of my numbers. Your numbers are not influencing me other than for me to go, yeah, these people don't have enough money, or yeah, these people have a great budget, or hey, they probably don't need to spend that much, but if they want to spend that much, we could change some finishes and I'll put in some options for that sort of thing. If you're not willing to share your budget with your builder, then that's a sign of not trusting your builder, and I'm not starting in a place without trust, period. We're professionals. We expect to be treated like professionals, and we will treat you in a professional manner. You should not think that it's necessary to withhold your budget. If you do, find a builder you trust. Goodness sake, that one irritates me. Next. Sorry. This is one of those, I have to pass. If you say the phrase, I can do this myself, I just don't have enough time, you are not my client, because you think that what you do in your spare time as a hobby is as good as what I do for a living and have done for 20 plus years. There is absolutely no way that you are as good at this as I am. And if you think you are, then you don't value what I do for a living. And if you don't value what I do for a living, you're not going to be interested in paying to have us do it. Plain and simple. Don't try to use that as a negotiating standpoint. Don't try to influence me. If you say, I can do this myself, I just don't have the time, 99% of the time, I'm going to say, you guys are not our clients. There's going to have to be some pretty extenuating circumstances. I don't care if you think that in the back of your head, but if you feel that strong enough that you feel like you could say that to me, you're wrong, period. We're doing stuff that is excellent, that is of the highest quality, and it is not the same as what a homeowner can execute. Clearly, there could be that 1% of awesome craftsmen that just happens to do something else for a living, but chances are you're wrong. Now, the final one, and this is new to us. They are wanting to self-perform something. If you want to self-perform something, that is not a good idea. We have a system in place. There are mechanisms. A happens, then B happens, then C happens. Every time you disrupt that, every time we have to take the dumpster away so that you can do the electrical for 2 months, those things cost money. You will not save enough money doing it yourself unless you are awesome. And in my experience, homeowners generally are not awesome. So our new rule, if you want to do it instead of us, if you want to self-perform, it happens before we get there or it happens after we leave. So all those clients that say they want to paint, that's fine. We're done with the job before you get out painting supplies. We're off the property before you get out painting supplies. I know it sounds counterintuitive that doing something yourself does not save you money. It does not save you money. It will not be worth your time. Pick up 2 extra hours at the office and pay for us to do it. It will be done better. It will be done quicker, and you will be happy. I promise. It's not worth your time to self-perform when you're dealing with professionals. It just isn't. So, those are the things that I think are most important in that initial conversation. You don't get to do the work. If you're going to do some of the work, it's going to happen when we're not there. Don't withhold your budget. If you feel like you can't be honest with that builder, then you've picked the wrong builder. And then we're going to talk about scope of work and budget. We're going to talk about our process and our pre-construction agreement. And we're going to talk about what is success. And that's the big takeaway. What does success look like? So, thanks for watching today on the Build Show from the Truck, a philosophical conversation about building. Let me know through Instagram if you guys like these, because I enjoy sharing these, and they would have been incredibly helpful, 15 years ago when I was a young builder and trying to figure out how to do things. But I realize they're not building science, so maybe some of you don't like them. Let me know through Instagram. It's jake.bruton on Instagram. Don't forget, 6 days a week, there are new videos on Build Show Network. Myself, Brent Hull, Wade Paquin, Steve Basic, and the illustrious Matt Reisinger are putting out new content every week. This is exciting stuff. I watch these videos. I learn from these guys. I hope you're finding value in it too. Until next time, I'm Jake on The Build Show. Take charge of your business.